Hey, ladies! I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited to jump on here today. I am sharing 10 tips with you guys on consistency. So, I actually heard about these tips from a top coach who is double elite. He is a 7-star, I believe, diamond coach, and I got to hear him on a call last night. And so, I wanted to jump on here today and share 10 tips to remaining consistent in this business because here's the deal, guys. Consistency is what is the quote unquote secret sauce. There's no secret sauce, right? Like, it's remaining consistent. And just like in our health and fitness journeys, this is a journey and it is not a quick sprint. You are not going to wake up and have $50,000 in your bank account, right? Like, it is going to take time, but in the beginning, you're going to be working a lot for a little, and in the end, you're going to be working a little for a lot. But if you will remain consistent, you're going to see the results. And so today I want to share these 10 tips with you. Number one, you need to develop habits. If you want to be consistent in this business, you've got to be showing up in your own health and fitness. You've got to be showing up in your workouts, in your eating plan. You've got to be showing up in your time in the Word. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And so if you want to pour into your challengers and to your coaches, you've got to be doing what you're telling them to do. I've always heard people say that your team and your challengers will do half of what you do. And so that's why I make it a massive goal for myself to be hitting Success Club 20 every month, because I want my team hitting Success Club 10. And so knowing that you guys are going to do half of what I do makes me want to work that much harder. And so you've got to develop habits in this business so that you're not filling from an empty cup or pouring from an empty cup. Number two, you have to know that there are window watchers. The second that you stop being consistent in this business is the second that people are like, okay, well, if she can't show up on her Instagram for 2 weeks, or she's just super all over the place all the time, who's to say that she's going to actually help me get results? And so you really lose trust with those people. If you're remaining consistent, if you're showing up, because guys, here's the deal. You've got people who are window watchers. They are looking at your Instagram day after day, and they may not even engage. They may not even like your posts. They may not even hardly watch your Instagram stories, but they see your stuff. And the second that you quit showing up, they're almost relieved, because they're kind of like, okay, cool. She isn't what she said she was, or she's this or that, or I don't have to go all in with her because she's not even consistent herself. And so if you're not being consistent, then you're going to lose those window watchers. The third thing is that you have got to know your why. So many people have what's called analysis paralysis, and that's basically where you are a new coach right now. And so you're taking in all this information and you're learning about all the different platforms, and you're learning all about like how do you make money in this business and all of these things. And so many times what happens is that people are taking all this information in that it almost makes them shut down. And so it's harder for them to stay consistent because they've got information overload. You have got to set business hours in your day where you're working on your business, and it's got to be a true power hour. That is why a power hour is what it is, and that's why you have a checklist, is that you set a timer and you say, hey, I'm going to spend this much time on each thing. Because otherwise you're going to constantly be able to take in all this information. I know even for myself, I can watch YouTube video after YouTube video or training after training, but if I'm watching so much stuff that I don't have the time to implement it, then it's worthless, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not taking in so much information that you're not able to actually pour out. And so that's why this training should be the personal development you're doing during the day. Yes, if you want to watch a one-off YouTube or whatever, that's fine. But make sure you're implementing these things in your business first, okay? So with that, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. With the analysis paralysis, a lot of times what happens is that people just get stuck. But you've got to remember your why. And so we talked about this other day, developing your why, that thing that is going to make you show up on the days when you don't want to show up. I had a conversation with a girl yesterday, and we just talked about how you've got to have that thing that's going to get you off the couch, right? Like, you've got to have that thing that's going to be like, nope, this is a priority, and I want to do this over, eating in the lunchroom with the other teachers or sitting at the desk with some coworkers and chatting. Like, I want to go to my car and jump on this call, or go to my car and send a bunch of messages. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in order to stay disciplined in this, your why has to be super duper big. You've got to stop like looking at it as this small thing, this little side hobby that you have, and you've got to look at it as a business, guys. You've got to remember what your why is. My why is that I want to be home full time soon. That's what I've been working towards for the past 4 years. Like, I want to be able to pay our house off sooner, so that way by 38 or 39, we have a paid for home and zero debt. Like, there's things that I'm just like really working towards, right? And so you've got to have that why that's like just so deep, that's going to help you keep going. And honestly, and that was even a bad example of our house payment, but it's got to be something that's more than just the shiny stuff, right? Because the shiny stuff at the end of the day doesn't really matter that much. It's not going to keep you going on the bad days, right? It's got to be something that has to do with your family or your own health and fitness, or helping people, or about your coaches. Like, one of my big whys now is helping you guys get started and have successful businesses. Like, yes, I've hit that point where I'm making the same income as my full-time job, which was my goal for so long. But now it's like, how can I get my coaches to be successful? How can I get my, coaches to diamonds? Like, how can I start to make those things happen in my business? Number 4, you are your brand. And you've got to own that, guys. Like, it's not being a Beachbody robot. It's literally, you are your brand. So the other day we did that color wheel. You've got to figure out what your brand is. Don't try to be the Caroline brand. Please don't. I had a call the other day with a good girl who used to be on our team, and she's thinking about coming back. And she said, I just feel like the first time around I was trying to do everything that you did, and thought that that's what my business needed to look like. Don't try to be me. Please don't. Like, we're all different, and God's given us all different passions. I was chatting with a girl earlier, and I'm like, have you ever thought about coaching in a way that you would be good at coaching? Like, you're from Florida, she takes the cutest pictures, little swimsuit photos, not like in a gross way, but in a cute way, on the beach with her little boy, like mom life, like, she's adorable. But if she tried to do things like I do things, it would be weird, because that is not who she is. You know what I'm saying? And so you've got to be true to who you are. And that kind of leads me into my next thing. When life is hard, you have to stay consistent. I think our natural tendency is that when life gets hard, we want to pull back. Oh, this is happening, pull back. Oh, that's happening, I don't have time to coach. Guys, that is when the magic actually happens. When you push through those hard things and you keep showing up. My business boomed after I had Emmeline. Guess what? Because people saw my journey. They saw me go through pregnancy, and that was a great thing, right? But like, they saw all of it. They saw the good, the bad, the ugly, the hard parts of breastfeeding, of just not wanting to show up. And the great thing is now we have stories, and that's a really great way to talk about that stuff. But keep showing up. I watched a coach this year who walked through a divorce. Her husband had left her, and she was alone, and she's very open about her story. Now, some of the stuff in that she shared I wouldn't have shared, but she was very open about her story, and her business has boomed this year because she has just been real and raw, and people can relate to that. People cannot relate to this like fake, authenticity, not authenticity, but like, you get what I'm saying, not being authentic on Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform it is that you're using. Like, you have to be the true you. Be authentic, show up, give your best. Like, people want to see real life, right? Like, it would be dumb if I sat here and acted like my child is a perfect child. She's just an angel all the time. No, that's not real life, and nobody can relate to that. Life is hard. Life is messy. Half the time I don't have my armpits shaved. My hair, like, there's a reason I always have headbands on and hats on. I don't like fixing it half the time. Like, be real, be you, be authentic. Hashtag the real real. That's what I like to say. People want to see the real you. Don't make up this beautiful picture on Instagram and say, oh, my perfect little family. No. Last week we went to the beach. I posted, I said, my kid hates the sand. My kid won't touch the sand. I picked out this white dress thinking we'd take beautiful beach photos. She won't even stand on the sand without gripping me. Like, please don't let me go. And so sharing that made people laugh. And then people were like, my kid hates the sand too. And they could relate to me because I am real and I'm authentic. And so remember that A, you're your brand, but B, when life is hard, you need to keep showing up. Don't pull back. Be real. because there is someone out there that needs to hear your story. And I think that's the bigger thing here, guys. This isn't about necessarily even growing a business. Like, we are women who want to be like Jesus. We want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And there are people out there that are hurting, guys. I don't know why I'm just getting emotional. There are people out there who are hurting. And I think about all the stories, all the women who have stories, who've walked through hard times, who've walked through miscarriages, who've walked through losing their husbands, who've walked through cancer, who've walked through sickness, who've walked through, all this stuff, autoimmune diseases, and just honestly, not even that. Maybe it's singleness. Maybe it's just hurt that things didn't work out the way you thought they would. And there's so many women out there walking through those things, and that's a story that you could be telling. Maybe you've been through that. Maybe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it was yesterday. But that's a story you can tell. And this isn't just about health and fitness, guys. This is about making much of Jesus and the story that he has done in your life. Because that's who we are here, right? On the Uplift Tribe. That's who we are. And that's why you're part of this academy, is because you ultimately, you want to be famous in heaven and at home. You want to have holy hustle, right? And so share the true story. Know that God wants to use your story, because guess what? It's not even your story. It's his anyway. Number 6. It's harder to get your momentum back when you quit. Don't take a step back. Take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but still keep moving forward. Be true to who you are. Share your real life. When you press pause because life is hard, you're going to lose people. Keep showing up. Keep pouring into them. You don't have to share all the details. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying keep showing up even when life is hard. There's a girl who I was listening to today, and I guess this isn't really about life being hard, but she was saying that one of her top coaches joined her challenge group because she saw her working out while they were at Disney and was like, you can still work out while you're at Disney. Disney's crazy, but here's how I fit it in. And it just made me think, like, it's the little things like that, right? Like, it's not anything big, but it's just the little true moments of, like, this is my life. My life is crazy, but I fit this business in, and I fit my workouts in, and I make it happen. Sorry, guys. lost my spot here. So the next one, guys, is that consistency builds respect. And so if you want to build trust with your followers, if you want them to truly be invested in who you are, you've got to keep showing up. You've got to be consistent, because otherwise they're going to kind of wonder what happened to you and wonder if I ever did something with her. Like, is she just going to fall off the wayside and give up on me? You've got to keep showing up. The next one, so number 9, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Now, keep in mind, guys, we're talking about a holy hustle, right? We're talking about a hustle that keeps your family first, walk with Jesus first, family second, and this business third, right? But when talent, let me tell you that again. Hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. There's a lot of people out there who may have, different talents or whatever, but they may not have that holy hustle that you have. And so show up, give your best. Someone said this quote the other day, and I just thought, man, that is so good. But it said, if you kind of sort of try, you'll get kind of sort of results. And I've been thinking about that all week long, because that is so many of us. We kind of sort of try, and as a result, we get kind of sort of results. And so if you kind of sort of try, you'll get kind of sort of results. But if you give your absolute best, God is going to reward those results, and you trust him, right? Like, you work really hard and you say, okay, God, the results are yours, and I'm putting that surrender on the table. Last one. It's a choice. Being successful in this business is a choice. We all have the same opportunity, and it's a choice that you can control. Well, ultimately, God controls it. But you have the control over how much work you're going to put in and how you're going to give your best. How many people you're going to contact today? How many people are you going to reach out to? How are you going to overcome the fear of posting that thing on Instagram? How are you going to post about your boot camp coming up? Like, these things are controllable, right? We work hard, we give our best, we stay consistent, and we trust God with the results. Whether that is a 6-figure business or a 2-figure business, right? Like, we trust God with whatever He has. But if we're not showing up and giving our best, we're limiting what He can do. And so I want to leave you guys with this. And I'll say that my upline, or not my upline, one of my Rockstar coaches, Patrice, actually did a little video, and she was sharing about this verse to her team, and I just thought, man, it's so true. But John 3:30 says, He must increase, but I must decrease. And so, guys, that's my prayer for you. Show up. Shine Jesus. Remember that fitness is our witness. This is an opportunity for us to shine in people's lives. There is not many platforms like this where you can literally be a light in people's lives. Literally, day in and day out. You have control of your business. You get to decide what that looks like. And so I want to encourage you today that we must decrease and He must increase. And so be consistent in this business. Make a commitment today that a year from now, you're going to be here and you're going to be consistent and you're going to keep giving your best, because that is what it is going to take to be successful in this business.